We already did the analysis of this particular occasion. Now it's time to do some important reflection. It's not necessarily a lesson more so than it is a reminder, which we'll talk more about as we get into this. Like, subscribe, notification bell. The man with the highest probability of winning the fight is the man who can immerse his opponent in a world where his opponent has all of the opponent's weaknesses exposed and all of the opponent's strengths submerged, while the opposite is true for the man who's going to win. In order for Devin to beat Ryan, one crucial thing has to happen. Ryan has to fight on Devin's terms, a boring fight, with Devin moving and Ryan failing to reach him, Devin clinching, all of that, Devin staying at range, a slow-paced fight. And there were moments like that in this fight, but the problem with Devin's world is that when he trying to immerse Ryan in that world, the ability for Devin to keep Ryan off of him was crucial, and Devin didn't really have that ability. Ryan not only has the attributes to get to Devin Haney with the size and the speed, which can't be overlooked and which wasn't overlooked, at least by me. I thought that was pretty important. But Devin facing someone his size for the first time and facing somebody noticeably faster than him, these attributes literally and figuratively allow Ryan to close the gap in so many ways. But it's not just the attributes, it's the attitude. Now, Ryan can physically be relentless in the sense of his constant encroachment into Devin Haney's territory and constantly walking him down and trying to find openings wherever he truly desired. Whenever he truly desired to want to walk through stuff and find openings, he just would. The relentless desire to get to Devin Haney mixed with the massive advantage of the attributes made it very difficult for Devin to bring Ryan into his world for any extended period of time, if at all. In the previous video, I talked about in the analysis, I talked about the difference in Chen and power and how that completely transforms the fight. And as I said in the past, I think Chen is arguably the most important attribute out of everything physical, and because Ryan's mental fortitude can only take him so far in the realm of success that his physical fortitude would allow him to. In other words, if he wanted to walk forward but he couldn't handle the shots from Devin, this would have been the reverse situation where Ryan would be having the one to get back up repeatedly, and he would keep trying to find ways to get to Devin. Instead, Devin is the one with a bad chin and even worse recovery. So Devin's the one trying to escape, and so he's the one having to get back up over and over. And Ryan just hits too damn hard. And he's already brought Devin out of Devin's game that he wants to play, because Ryan is so fast and he has a size, so Devin can't play the game of cat and mouse because Ryan is too damn much of a good cat. Basically, just the speed overwhelms the reflexes, but you're going to talk a little bit more about that. Ryan could only be so relentless because he could afford to do so. It would only take one shot from Ryan to bring Devin out of his game. That's the power advantage. And the chin advantage is that even when Devin could hurt Ryan, his recovery would allow Ryan to stay in Ryan's world and trudge through the problems that Devin would put in front of him. What I love about fighting is that it's the big problem solving battle. That's why it's compared to chess. But obviously fighting has far more dimensions to it than chess. One of those dimensions is physical advantages. When you have one person trying to get away and the other person trying to catch up, the most important question to ask is about the speed of the person trying to catch up. Are they fast enough? Like, that's the metaphor. A race, some person's trying to catch up to somebody in front of them. Is that person in behind fast enough? If the answer is no, they're not going to catch up to the person they're chasing down. Ryan was hunting down Haney, but he could handle what Haney was throwing at him, and Haney couldn't handle what Ryan was throwing back. So as I try to make clear so many times, and as I talked about in the Science of Brutality video that I made just before the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney breakdown, and it's so ironic that I don't take my own advice, but yeah, it's funny. I love looking at the bits and pieces of the science that revolve around adjustments and feints and setting traps. I love that stuff. But as I said in the Science of Brutality, science is all encompassing. And one thing that can't be overlooked, in this case I did, be overlooked is the physical advantages. Even if someone theoretically comes in with a better or more detailed game plan, which I'm not saying that's the case here, or even if they're like capable of physically carrying it out and they have the IQ and everything, if you want to keep someone off of you, you have to have the actual physical ability to hurt them enough to make them stop chasing you. And you have to have the ability to take those inevitable shots that are going to land when they inevitably do catch up to you. You can't just escape the whole fight. It's a boxing match, it's a fight. You're going to get hit. And the question is, what's going to happen when you get hit? And the answer for Devin Haney is he's going to go down or get rocked. In my opinion, Ryan is just a horrific matchup for Devin Haney, regardless of antics, regardless of the weight drain and weight advantages, or just about anything else. And part of it is skill set, because Ryan does have some underrated skills, particularly in the offensive adjustments area. I've always complimented his ability to make offensive adjustments. I've always questioned his defense too, but offense, I've always had a lot of respect for what Ryan was capable of. And if you see, even versus Tank, he had Tank you looking a little bit worrisome early on. Devin, but more importantly than the skill stuff, Ryan has the physical talents that contradict and counteract Devin Haney's physical talents. Devin relies on reflexes. Speed beats reflexes. He overwhelms Devin's ability to process in time before Devin can react, right? Devin has issues with his chin. Ryan has a lot of power. Devin doesn't hit too hard. Ryan has a good chin. And so you start to see that where Devin is normally strong, Ryan has counters to those strong areas. Also, Devin's size, he's bigger than his opponents. Like we said earlier, he wasn't bigger than Ryan. It's just so many areas where Ryan has all of the right things to really give Devin so much trouble the way he did. It was a lot more in trouble. You saw the fight. I mean, here we go. The lesson, the valuable lesson, and one that I can't stress enough on this channel. Yes, I look at the skills, but I should never, and you should never overlook the attributes. The skills are always in service to the attributes. I repeat, the skills are always in service to the attributes. The style of the fight can only take the form that the attributes allow it to take. Mike Tyson could never fight like Muhammad Ali and vice versa. Steph Curry could never play like Shaq and vice versa. With all these analysis channels on YouTube and even my own, sometimes it's not an overcomplication. It's just looking in the wrong directions and overlooking the wrong pieces. The lesson is just to be more cognizant of attributes and how they shape styles and how those styles shape the style of a fight and therefore the outcome. In simpler words, styles serve attributes. It's not much of a lesson. As I said in the beginning, it's more so a reminder. In fact, I got a whole thing about archetypes and I'm talking about how attributes shape styles and so on and so forth. That's something I've always talked about, but I ignored it in my analysis, and that's why my analysis was bad. But I think this fight is like really interesting because you see a fighter's similar size, similar age. One is touted as more skilled and the other's touted as a one-trick pony who's not as skilled, and they go in and you start to see, oh, even if Devin was more skilled, it wouldn't save him. That's kind of what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. And sometimes it's like that. It's not always like that. Skills can pay the bills, but before they gotta pay the bills, you gotta have the check with your attributes. That is all, fight scientists. Immortality Serum out.